What's up YouTube, Eugene here. Well, we've got an unboxing of Le Lion de Chanel, which has finally arrived. What seems like it's been a year we've been waiting for this with the postponement. But with this release, the best line in all of Perfume just got better. How is that possible? How is it possible that one release can improve a whole line? This could potentially be the best Les exclusive. We're gonna find out. Before we begin, I want to give a couple of shout outs. First to longtime viewer Kanger for sending me a very generous decant of Le Lion months ago, giving me an opportunity to discover and get to know this beautiful fragrance. To my supporters who've all purchased me a coffee, I want to thank you personally for your very generous support. It's gone beyond my wildest dreams and imaginations. Just showing gratitudes to all of you. Thank you so much. And to everybody that's wished me a happy birthday, I see you, I appreciate you. Thank you all for that. Let's get into this. I have been anticipating this. It's always an exciting time for a new Chanel, especially for a Les exclusive, which are reserved for us enthusiasts. You know, the fragrance world kind of it gets turned upside down and it goes bonkers when we hear about a new Les exclusive. And as far as I'm concerned, you know, Les exclusive is at the pinnacle of all perfume, at modern day perfume anyway, from what's being released today. You know, we're all going to be biased towards our own opinions and preferences and perceptions. Everybody's gonna like what they like. Designer heads think designer fragrances are the best. Artisanal fans think artisanal perfumes are the best. Same as indie. You know, indie thinks indie is the best. Well, to me, this is my comfort zone. Especially Chanel. Chanel more than any other brand in the designer world, just because they take the time, they put in the care, the effort. I mean, all brands do, but none really like Chanel. And you know, this is allocated or marketed towards the Middle East, so you know, this isn't oud based. They could have created something oud based. And you could say, you know, Chanel jumped on the trend. So we got a card here from Chanel. Let's see what. Well, it's actually a blank Christmas card. They were supposed to include a personalized card. I think Coco had written me a personalized letter. I guess it's gone. But I don't feel like Chanel's really jumped on any trend. What it feels like is they've taken their time and, you know, the oud, the Middle Eastern market's infiltrated. It's been about 20 years now since the Western world's been introduced to oud or Middle Eastern perfumes, and almost every house has jumped on board to that oud bandwagon. And Chanel's just like, all right, you know, we see you, oud, and the Middle East, we see you. We're going to acknowledge you, but we're going to create something. We're going to take our time. We're going to make it beautiful. It's going to be special. And when we're ready, we'll present it. We're not in a rush. Like every other brand, you know, Francois Demachet and Dior, you only wish you could create something like Le Lion, which you're never going to be capable of, because personally, you know, you're telling us to believe in your brand, and when you don't believe in your brand yourself, within a couple of years, these will all be discontinued. You know, your actions speak a lot louder than your words. And it's a case of, you know, do what we say, not what we do. Right? They go and they release a bunch of fantastic fragrances. When they don't sell, they discontinue them. You know, they don't take the time, the effort, the care like Chanel does. Chanel's exclusives have been out since 2007. Not a single one has been discontinued. Look what Guerlain has been doing with their Middle Eastern collection in such a rush to get them out. You know, I think it's the Absolutes, the Orient have been out for what, 5-6 years, already released 7 perfumes. 2 of them have been discontinued. What does that tell you? Are you creating from love? Are you creating from passion? Where's that creation coming from? It sounds like it's just chasing dollars to me. So I got a card from Chanel, and it reads, "Happy birthday, Eugene. It won't be long until Francois Demichet and Dior replicate us, but until then, enjoy Le Lion de Chanel. Love, Coco." And it's only a matter of time, but we'll see if this comes to fruition. You know, and these, you know, I'm a fan of Dior. At the end of the day, I love Dior. I love Guerlain. You know, I love the big classic French houses. French perfume is my thing. And you want to jump on the Middle Eastern bandwagon, you want that Middle Eastern money, you know, go ahead, by all means, but do something, but do it from love. Do it, you know, take your time. This in and of itself is an okay fragrance. But when you're comparing this to something like Le Lion, this is atrocious. This is miserable. This is an embarrassment. This is not good perfume. You know, it's obnoxious. I'm sorry to say. Well, we got a bunch of samples from Chanel. Nothing fantastic. Let's just open this up. I wonder if I can get this to stick. Because I'm a Chanel fanboy. I'm going to fanboy today. Stay with me. Stay with me. All right. So Chanel packaging. I used to think this was like really minimalist, and not knowing what minimalism meant, I thought it was kind of junky, but I can see what they're doing. You know, I've fallen for the Chanel minimalism. Love that cello music to my heart. Okay, so there we go. Le Lion de Chanel. And I've gotten to know this perfume. My goodness, what a perfume. Firstly, this has been compared to a lot of things. There's so many perfumes, I don't even know where to start. I've got a bunch of them here. And, you know, obviously you've all heard the comparisons to Shalimar and Coromandel. I've seen Ombre Sultan, I've seen Mitza, I've seen Sahara Noir, and Oriental Brûlant. And I get it, I see all of those as well. Little bits and pieces extracted. I don't even think it's extracted. I don't think they were focusing on any one of these perfumes. Chanel's not a brand that needs to copy or clone or needs inspiration from anybody else. It's an Oriental themed perfume, and if we see pieces of it from another Oriental, it makes sense. At the end of the day, Le Lion is its own fragrance, totally separate from all of these. I wouldn't say it's a copy or an inspiration from anything. The one that it's most often compared to is Shalimar. Yes, they're both smoky and they share that leathery facet, but it kind of stops there, you know. Completely different dry downs, completely different openings. It shares a little bit of that heart, but I wouldn't take it much further than that. This is, you know, both are stunning. If you know, Shalimar is the Sheba Queen. It is niche on its own, but this is almost like an ultra niche version of Shalimar. A lot of people think that niche doesn't exist. And just the idea that you say niche doesn't exist, the idea that you use the word niche and saying it doesn't exist actually says yes, you know. You denying niche actually says niche does exist. If you know what niche means, you can't deny it. Oh, man. You know, there's just so much going on. I don't know where to start. There's so much depth and layers and complexities and nuances to this perfume. I'm obviously hit with the citruses. Very lemony. Olivier Pouls, you know, he loves his lemon. He's used lemon in the last three of his Les Exclusives, 1957, and boy, Misia doesn't have. So he did Misia. I don't remember lemon being in Misia. So with this, it's three of them that he's used lemon, the lemon bergamot. But he seems to like his sharp lemons. Right after that lemon, I get a huge dose of rose for about an hour long. This really green, bitter rock rose, a smoky rose, and you can see Chanel's released sort of this mood board or this description, marketing descriptor. You know, it's kind of this collage, and you can see the lion there with the it's got this fiery red background. It has a strip of vanilla pod going down the side, some rock rose at the bottom, some ambers. You know, they're showing the colors, the textures, some of the scents. They don't show a full note breakdown. Nowhere on the Chanel site do they share note breakdown, but I get a lot of rose, green, bitter rose in the opening, contrasted with that lemon. It's not too long before I start getting, you know, the Chanelade, that waxy cosmetics vibe in this, but it's not typical. You know, the florals start to come out. I get the iris and the powders, and I'm not sure what other florals in here, but I get mainly rose and iris, kind of a dry orris that create this lipsticky, almost like a burnt, scorched lipstick. Something exemplifying Middle East, or it's kind of it's a Middle Eastern flair. It's Middle East meets French perfume, you know, the best of both worlds, almost like an Arab infiltration on Paris. The Eiffel Tower under siege, burning all Paris's lipsticks, and I get smoldering roses and kind of like smoky Chanel handbags soon after. That leather vibe kicks in. A very subtle leather. It's not like new car leather. It's very balmy, partly floral, partly labdanum. That's the heart, you know. There's so many phases to this. I get the citrus, then I get the rose, then I get that waxy, cosmetic-y handbag, that lipstick accord, that scorched lipstick. Then the leather comes out. And it's not soon after, you know, we come into the dry down, and that's where all the good stuff, the incense, the smoke, the dry textured patchouli, the abrasiveness, the kind of the gritty, sandy patchouli, the ambers, the labdanums, you know, all kinds of good stuff. So it's like, you know, Paris is on fire. The Arabs have infiltrated. They're burning down Paris. You know, they've set their lipsticks on fire, and at the end they come back and they put out their own fire with a sandstorm, because patchouli and ambers and that sort of thing kind of, it, you know, the grit, the textures remind me of sand, of abrasiveness, of almost like a sandpaper feel. Or, you know, this isn't rough by any means. This is very finely crafted, finely tuned. It's exceptionally well made. It's almost like more of a really fine emery cloth than straight up gritty sandpaper. So a lot of textures a lot of colors, you know, just so much contrast. I think that's what makes this perfume so beautiful. And a lot of Chanel's is they take the time, they put effort into not just the scent, but I get the visuals and I get the colors and the contrast. You know, it's like these warm, soft, creamy leathers and vanillas contrasting. You know, there's that grit, that abrasiveness of the sand, the rough patchouli, the dry patchouli, the dryness of the patchouli, the dryness of the golden amber. So you constantly have, you know, that friction of notes, which just it adds, you know, when the perfume's kind of diffusing off of you can feel that grittiness. But absolutely stunning. To me, Le Lion is it's a masterpiece. There's no doubt about it to me. I haven't experienced something like this, and you know, something that just sets off my moods and my emotions and just my distraction factor when I wear this. I'm completely, you know, I get lost in this perfume, and so many visuals come up for me and ideas, and it simply stands out above the crowd and from everything that's coming out today. As far as I'm concerned, I appreciate this a little bit more than Coromandel. And you know my love for Coromandel. I've spoken about it, you know, for years and years and years and years. I've reviewed it years back. I think it's a little bit more complex, nuanced, richer, deeper. And it's still, you know, within all of that coarseness and ruggedness and Paris on fire and burnt lipsticks and smoldering roses, there's still a beauty to it. There's still this underlying subtleness. It's very classy. It's not just this crazy artistic niche that isn't functional. This to me is totally wearable on a daily basis, even though it is quite spicy. Some green spices, maybe some coriander or something, but yeah, it is quite spicy, quite gritty, quite earthy. It's a little of everything. So the best line in Perfume just got better. And they're being very careful with these releases, you know, one every couple of years. You know, I know Dior's released 3 Middle Eastern perfumes in what seems like the last 2 years. We've got Oud Rosewood, which is okay. I mean, comparing to Le Lion, there's just nothing to talk about. Purple Oud, which I like, but again, it's just, you know, nothing. There's absolutely no comparison. Nothing. You know, you can't compare the two. Take note, Francois Demochet. This is how you create perfume. This is how you create a Middle Eastern perfume. This is how you create something functional, something technically brilliant. You know, it's very tight. It's like a snowball. You know, this snowball is not falling apart. This perfume is all the molecules are glued together. You know, there's no holes. The transitions are beautiful, flawless, very well rounded. As rough, you know, it's got that roughness, that coarseness, that ruggedness, but it's all tuned, you know, by a master perfumer that's taken probably years to create this and just kind of tweak it, you know, to get all the crap out. It's just so tight, so complex, so beautiful. It's work that I haven't seen anywhere else. You know, from all the perfumes I've tried, I've never seen a line so finely tuned. So take note, Demochet. Take note, Thierry Wasser. Take note, Christine Nagel. Whoever else needs to know from the designer brands, you know. Take note. This is how you make and create beauty. If you guys have tried Le Lion, I'd love to hear your comments. Always appreciate reading your comments and seeing what you have to say. Drop a like this video, and we'll see you all again soon. Thanks for watching.